Everybody, Al Monteleone here from Dependable Dental, and we're talking about how to get your office opened up properly when you restart. After being closed from March or the end of February, a lot of things could happen with your equipment from not being used. A lot of things can happen to your equipment from being overused. So at this point, we want to make sure that you turn everything back on. You should have been doing it regularly during the course of this shutdown. At this point, we'd like you to get back up and running if you haven't already. There are several sheets, and I'll be emailing them out, and they're available on the link below from different dental equipment companies and different manufacturers who want to make sure that their equipment is taken care of properly. There's a transfer over to a lot of the other stuff. One of the things is you want to get that compressor up and running. Turn it on. If it's in a remote location, have somebody else turn the remote switch on while you or one of your staff is by the compressor. If it goes on, it should start right up. If there is a hum and it doesn't start right up, shut the switch off immediately and give us a call. It may be seized or frozen at one point. Want to make sure that it gets a good fresh start when you first turn the switch on. Assuming that happens, you will be able to get the pressure up and out to the chairs at a gradual buildup, which is what you want. So some of the manufacturers and the OEMs are saying to turn the valve off by the compressor and build the compressor up and then open it up. I kind of like it ramping up so that if there are any leaks, it's not a really hard hit for that air when it hits the junction box or your unit. It will ramp up the air pressure slowly. Also, once you get that compressor all the way up and running and it gets up to 100 pounds psi, what you want to do is you want to make sure that it holds at that point. Again, if the compressor is in a remote location, stay with the compressor and watch the pressure gauge. It's usually by the output where the hose connection is, and see that it stays and holds at 100. If you see it dropping fairly quickly or cycling, more than if it drops and has to recycle within 3 minutes of no use, what you might want to do is check for leaks, not only within the dental equipment and in around the office, but also somewhere in the plumbing. If it's exposed plumbing, you could follow the pipe out and try to see where you might hear any leaks and go from there. Once you've pressurized the compressor and you've verified that it's not leaking an extreme amount or that you can hear any hissing anywhere, go from room to room to room and make sure you don't hear the hissing, and turn the units on. Prior to turning the compressor on, the unit head should have an on-off switch that should have previously been turned off. Turn the units on and drive air through the handpieces. We are looking to make sure that everything is right up to the right pressure. Make sure that none of the tubings have either collapsed or dried up and cracked, so that you might want to have a high speed and a low speed handy and put them up onto each room, into each handpiece. Make sure there's burrs or an angle on to the slow speed, and get those things running and tested. If everything proves out at that point, we can move along to the vacuum. Vacuum should have been shut off with cleaner, having been cleaned before. At that point, if you haven't cleaned it, now would be a good time. A little bit late, but better late than never. Make sure that when you turn the vacuum on, again, that you don't hear any open lines and the open hissing anywhere. Sometimes the pipes will rot out if they're not PVC, and you'll have open pipes that way. Again, with everything closed, you shouldn't hear any hissing anywhere within the office or in the pipe run between the office treatment rooms and the unit itself. Assuming that the water filter has been kept up clean, you might want to change the water filter first before turning on the vacuum. Sorry about that. I forgot that order. Change the water filter, then you turn on the vacuum and make sure everything is running that way. Go to the rooms, check that your vacuum lines are still intact. Open and close every HVE and every saliva ejector valve, and if you have scavengers, turn those open and close also. At that point, you want to make sure everything's clean and running. Move your X-ray arms around, up and down, in and out, forward and back. Rotate the head. Same thing with the light. Move the light up and down. If you have any drift that a little bit of exercise doesn't repair, then you'll have to give us a call and we'll try to make the proper adjustments on those items. Move the unit arm and the lights and the X-ray heads all around. Put them through their motions, both extremes, and up and down, forward and back, and make sure that they're not drifting. You'll also want to make sure that your autoclaves, they should have been left clean and dry if you haven't used them. At that point, if they're not, drain them out, clean them up. You might want to even do a double cleaning. Go through the cleaning procedure. We recommend Midmark Speed Clean. It's a really good product. They recommend using an ounce. Not bad if you use more than an ounce per cleaning. Follow the instructions on the bottle. Again, we can provide that product for you, or you can get it from your regular supplier. And put in fresh water and run it. Anything else, give us a call at 631-738-9729. Thanks for listening.